Today, from M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, it's Week 15 of the NFL on EA Sports.
Taken in at the 3. And look at this. Right away, a loose football.
Fumble on the play. Recovered by...
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff fumble now. Great.
Oh, we got it. We got it. Good job, D. Good job, D.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. From the gun, Mayfield. Flushed out right. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
22 yards there, a 1st down.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
A 1st carry now for Nick Chubb. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Partner, is that what you call a quick hitter? That was actually a bolt of lightning, wasn't it? Right out of the gate.
And, of course, on the heels of him winning AFC Offensive Player of the Week 1 week ago.
Hey, 81 right there.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. His 25th touchdown. Time. Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in 1 season. And the Browns have taken the early lead. Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
And no one can run the football like Lamar Jackson from the quarterback position. The most dynamic guy with the ball in his hands since probably Michael Vick. Got more accurate throwing the football each and every year at Louisville. But how about this one? A first-round pick in 2017, the number 32 pick in the first round. The last guy to do that at Louisville, Teddy Bridgewater, the same exact pick when he came out.
A look there at Ingram's numbers from a week ago. 12 carries, 64 yards.
And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week to pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
He was looking for Mark Ingram there, and it's third down.
And 9 yards to go.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Yeah, boy, it is tough to bring him down that time. He surges forward. He's going to get a full 6 out of that. Second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Watch that in. Watch that in. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Hey, 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 hey. 4 down, 4 down, 4 down. Check number 6. Check number 6.
A first down throw for Mayfield. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They give the Chubb out of the gun. And he spins through. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Mayfield finding Beckham. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator Right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
So now the Browns, they're going to line up and go for two.
I know he ain't got it. 57.
Now Mayfield. Forced out to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. And that was the old QB one-man band play there on the conversion.
And look, let's face it, even quarterbacks who don't have great mobility, in certain situations, they're able to actually take the ball in themselves. Remember way back when Joe Namath against the Giants at the Yale Bowl, right? Remember Joe had all those knee operations. They thought he couldn't run it. No one accounted for him. He practically walked into the end zone.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Ingram, the ball carrier.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. But not much on that. Run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 4.
From the gun, Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll give him a fresh set of downs.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3-and-out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
Right there in the middle, 55.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Man open left side is Brown. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
Raven. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Out of the gun, they give to Ingram. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory.
Ingram, the ball carrier.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1? The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ingram. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tackles. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show.
The Browns drive about to get started. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
First down, Mayfield. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Another first down, this time on a gain of 19. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Mayfield hands to Chubb on the draw. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 29-yard line.
A gain of 18.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Flush to his right. He'll run it. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
And that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down.
Coverage there by Earl Thomas.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield flushed out right. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Wide open receiver complete. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And he atones for his miss the first time around, as this one is up and good to extend their lead. That time, a 9-play drive. And Nick Chubb, the one to finish it off, as he does so with a touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taken in the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On the coverage.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. 3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. Looking left side. Andrews with it complete. And he will have a Ravens first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. Jackson to Andrews on that one. First down, Baltimore. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Throw left side complete. That's Brown. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime.
1-yard attempt.
And as is to be expected, this is nowhere near being good from that distance. And this score will stay right where it is.
21. Ravens, nothing.
Well, partner, this is where I need the color commentator. I'm not sure what to say about that one.
Hey, you and me both, my man. Let's just let that one go and move on.
Deal. And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left, but a flag is down here, so hold on. Let's see what this is about.
Oh, no.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. So we reach halftime. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime.
3.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will make it into the end zone. And the half will begin with a touchback. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks
that's
it
how
off.
we do it.
There he goes right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Back to the air, Jackson following the pick 6. Eluding the Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Austin Hooper, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
And that was a beautiful ball right there as he waited for his tight end to come uncovered in the end zone, so give him points for patience as well. Delivered it right where it needed to be for 6 points.
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not.
Dustin Hopkins on for the extra point.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. And his kick is right through.
Makes the score Browns 35, Ravens 3.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This taken in about 4 yards deep, and no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard.
The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
At the 30-yard line.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson steps away to his left. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
Lamar Jackson. That's good.
Normally we're talking about a quarterback duel where they're matching each other pass for pass. How about the footwork in this one? Both of these guys running the ball well.
Yeah, they've mixed in the run game. You're exactly right. Now, both coaches might not like how much their quarterbacks have taken off, but another example. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And I think the Browns got it. They did.
Jackson on the keeper.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen. On the field.
For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at the 40. Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Trying to get away, but could not. Patrick Queen gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And running with power here. And he is finally brought down at the Ravens 8. A big play that time out of Chubb. 57 yards. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, how to plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Austin Hooper with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the forced fumble defensively leads to 6 points for the Browns. That, of course, all set up by the big run on the play prior. They took advantage right away with the touchdown throw.
And you mentioned advantage, probably taking advantage of their natural instinct after that previous play to be aggressive and rush towards the line of scrimmage. And instead, they were vulnerable to the pass.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taken in at the 3. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
And now the Browns defensive unit trots back out. Got that fumble recovery last time when it looked like they might give up points. It actually ended up yielding points for them on the offensive end.
It's a pretty good swing, isn't it? Maybe you're going to give up a touchdown. Instead, you score a touchdown. Great swing, great momentum changer for your team.
And they'll be looking to build off that momentum on this drive. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Jackson from the shotgun. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Jones, incomplete.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. A big reason why they've been so successful. This defense hasn't been able to contain him when he gets outside of the pocket. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material. Here's Mayfield. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A nice gain of 21 yards.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big 3rd quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Makes the score Browns 45.
So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
23-yard line.
And the Ravens taking the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
On the pickup brings up 2nd and 2 at the 31-yard line.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan
and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after them now.
On the option, Jackson will keep it. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 44-yard line.
On 2nd down, Ingram. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Ball carrier brought down right at.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back now in Baltimore. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Ravens on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 2. It's caught. Jones. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That's good for a Raven first down. 15 yards there.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Incomplete. It leads to 2nd and 10.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. To throw again. Jackson looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ingram. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. And Jackson throwing once more. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They're running. Ingram. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. Mark Ingram unable to get past the marker. And this Browns defense stands tall. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. He'll start things off with a handoff to Chubb. Breaks through, and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Browns continue to roll.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And not much on this one. Takes it from the 21. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Jackson. Dancing to his left. He'll have a first down past the 40. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Oh, Lamar Jackson just so electric, Charles, when he gets into open space, and we saw Exhibit A right there.
You know something? I'm standing up here in the booth next to you watching the play. He buckled my ankles on that one as well. It doesn't matter.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down. The Ravens on third down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is third down and 12. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Grant Delpit.
Action. Showtime,
He's
baby.
at the 40, the 30. Now the ball comes loose.
Grant Delpit.
So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity missed.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
7 yards there on the first down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Mike 51. Oh, yeah.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jackson escaping the pressure right. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Jackson on first down. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Sheldon Richardson in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. And it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And that is incomplete.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. They'll try and wind down some clock with Chubb. Oh, leaves him behind on the spin. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory.
Now a stoppage, and we've got Chubb shaken up on the play.
While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And he's got this down to the 35. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Right. He's done right.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. Stays on his feet. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
It was Chuck Clark coming up to make the tackle.
Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
And again, it's Chubb. Spinning away. Evades the tackler, and now some space. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
Give him 14 on that one and a first down. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up second.
Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more. Little insult to injury here late in the game. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there.
James Prochet on the return.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here.
51's the mic. 51's the mic.
One last shot for Jackson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Browns, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things